Hey guys, this is Daniel Sobrano, and today I'm going to go over why you need to punch through center line. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright guys, now the reason why what center line is basically it's a line that goes from the top of your head all the way down to your groin area. It's a straight line down the middle, okay? And the reason why you want to punch through or across center line is because if you don't do that, you're not going to get the maximum amount of your body weight into your target, okay? So for instance, if you were to stand parallel to a bag or even a wall and either push or lightly punch the wall or the bag, you're going to find as soon as you hit it, it's going to push you off balance, okay? So if you stand again against the wall and you push down the middle of your center line, okay, and push into the wall with either your hand or your fist, you're going to find that you don't get pushed back. And the reason why is your weight has shifted across the line and gives you more power and puts more body weight behind that strike instead of being just off to the outside of it, okay? So what ends up happening there is that you get more power behind your strike because you're using your weight. It transfers into your fist when you're striking somebody, okay? So in a street fight, what you want to do is you want to hit hard and hit fast. And so in order for you to really hit hard, you need to be able to cross the center line when you're striking. It also, as you strike, creates a triangle, which is the strongest structure that we have, okay? Think about pyramids, all right? Very strong structure. So striking across center line helps you to develop that power and also to be able to bring your weight across as you strike, all right? So it's very, very important when you fight to cross center line when you're striking someone. All right, here's a few suggestions that I'll have for you when you do strike across center line. Number one is when you throw a punch, I like to throw it slightly diagonal in my strike, okay? In another video I've shown the different positions of the fist, okay? So I would like for you to use the diagonal punch when you're fighting and striking across center line. It's really important. It aligns perfectly with the structure of the body, of the face, and you're able to get a good clean knockout striking that way, especially bare knuckle, right? So it's really important to be able to structurally have your fist and your wrist, your forearm, and your body in a sound position when you're striking somebody that way, okay? So it's really, really important to be able to hit somebody that way. All right, another tip I want to go over as far as crossing center line when you're striking is you want to be, when you're throwing your jab, you know, or your straight left, you know, I like to call it my jolt because I drop my body weight into it. When I'm dropping, the majority of the time I'll do it like a fencer, you know, sword fighter, come straight out with my drop, okay, and my fist is in line with my drop, you know, the drop of the foot, okay, to get the maximum amount of weight behind my strike, all right. But other times, if I want to strike again in a different manner, like going across center line, what I like to do is I'll step slightly, well, kind of straight, but what I'll do is I'll throw my straight punch slightly off center. So it'll go over here. So over here, I'll take this drop and I'll strike at the target or across center line on the target, okay? When I do that, as opposed to straight on, again, it's because I'm going across center line, put that weight behind that strike to be able to knock out my opponent, okay? So that's another way you can do it. When you're throwing a drop step, okay, it's all right to do the drop step straight on because of the fact that you're putting most of your weight behind your strike, all right, and you're not going to unbalance yourself, okay? So you still can do a drop step, so there's no contradiction whether doing a drop straight on versus a drop step across center line. It's just the difference of impact, okay? One is going to go through, one's going to go across center line and knock somebody out. So I would use that, and it works out really well, and it's a very dangerous technique to use. All right, here's another tip about crossing center line. The reason why center line is very important is the majority of your vital organs runs down the center line. Your eyes, your solar plexus, your groin, and then behind you got your spine, you got your kidneys off to the slightly off to the side of the center line. So all your vital organs pretty much all run down center line. Okay. When you hit somebody at center line or slightly across center line, what it does, it psychologically it disturbs the individual when he gets hit there. If you hit somebody on the shoulder or the arm, you know they're always taking, they can take a shot and everything. But you hit them down center line, it rattles you, it disturbs you psychologically, because what's happening is that's where your vital organs are at. Okay, so in your mind, your body knows flight or fight, survival. It knows it gets attacked here. It wants to protect the center line. But when you get struck across center line, that's very vulnerable to the body, and it knows that it's vulnerable, and so it doesn't like that. All right, it's a survival mechanism in us, and so because of that, it tends to want to protect it, and when it doesn't, then it's vulnerable. It feels that vulnerability when it gets attacked there, and so it's disturbing to the mind. All right, so attacking across center line, putting with the majority of your force and your weight behind that strike, adds to that fear that the individual would have, and it disturbs them, and it messes up his fight. Okay, so then you start controlling the fight. Anytime you can control the center line, you're controlling the fight. All right. So again, that's another reason why you want to use that tactic of attacking across center line, so that you can disturb your opponent and so that you can win. All right, guys, this is the end of the video, and it's a semi-quick video. I just wanted to go over that concept of the crossing center line. It's really important when you're fighting. Again, when you stand, just stand parallel and push yourself or punch yourself across against a wall or a bag, and you're going to see how you fall back. You know, if you start striking like this, you know, like typical, you know, just brawler, just swinging, you're going to hit somebody, but every time you hit, it bounces off and it throws you off balance. But the moment you start crossing center line, your weight gets behind the punch, and before you know it, okay, you start hitting very powerfully and start knocking the guy back and forth as you start throwing your strikes. So in the street fight, you're able to finish it off quicker, or if anything, damage the individual with a lot of weight behind your strike. So it's really important to be able to do that. Okay? So practice and think about the center line theory and crossing it, and you know, having somebody hold pads and cross center line. You know, keep it here and have them cross purposely center line. Get used to it, because as you start striking like that, you're gonna be more powerful and you're gonna be able to hit them hard and knock them out. All right? So until next time, this is Daniel Sombrano telling you, don't just hit them, punch a hole through. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.